Jay-Z and Puff was given an assignment, and that was to destroy East Coast rap.
What if Tupac Shakur never died that night in Las Vegas? What if one of the greatest tragedies in music wasn't really a tragedy at all, but a carefully planned escape? For almost 30 years, we've been told one story. Tupac was gunned down in a drive-by shooting and died 6 days later in a Nevada hospital. Case closed. But former bodyguard Gene Deal, a man who once worked inside Diddy's inner circle, says that's not the truth. According to him, Diddy wasn't just Tupac's rival, he was plotting to have Tupac erased. And here's the shocking twist. Gene suggests Pac knew it was coming, that he may have staged his own disappearance and could still be alive today. Tonight, we're unpacking the Vegas shooting timeline, the suspicious autopsy, the Cuba escape theory, and the eerie Makaveli clues Tupac left behind. And in the process, we'll ask the question, was Tupac really a victim or the mastermind of hip-hop's greatest vanishing act? To understand the theory, you have to know who Gene Deal is. This isn't a random fan online. Gene was Diddy's personal bodyguard. He was there in the 90s, protecting him, eating with him, traveling with him. He saw it all from inside the bad boy empire, and decades later, he came forward with a bombshell. Diddy didn't just hate Tupac as a rival, he allegedly wanted him gone. According to Gene, Diddy spoke openly about it, not in cryptic lines, not in music beefs, but in plain language. Tupac was a target.
Sean had to take responsibility for what he did as an individual. Sean is the one who pulled that gun out. Sean is the one who shot. So he has to take responsibility for that.
And Gene's claims line up with something chilling: court records. Transcripts from the 1990s show Diddy's name popping up nearly 50 times in connection with bounties, payments, and threats aimed at Tupac, and even Suge Knight. Think about that. 50 mentions. This wasn't gossip. It was paperwork. If what Gene says is true, this wasn't about rap battles. It wasn't East Coast versus West Coast bragging rights. It was calculated, cold, like a mob boss commissioning work. And if Diddy really had a crew ready to silence enemies, then Tupac knew his days were numbered.
New York rappers was getting 800 to 1.2 million, or some larger than that, and sign with labels back then.
September 7th, 1996, Las Vegas. Tupac and Suge Knight attend the Tyson fight at the MGM Grand. After the fight, Tupac spots Orlando Anderson, a known Crip, in the lobby. Pac attacks. Security cameras catch it all. Anderson is left beaten. Hours later, he'll be accused of being involved in the shooting. But here's where things get suspicious. Tupac, who almost always wore a bulletproof vest, decided not to that night. At a Tyson fight, surrounded by gang tension, knowing he had enemies everywhere, he left the vest behind. Why? Arrogance or preparation? At 11:15 p.m., as Tupac and Suge drive down the strip, a white Cadillac pulls up. Shots ring out. Tupac is hit 4 times. Suge is grazed. The Cadillac speeds off into the night. But the details don't make sense. Police response was strangely slow for the Vegas Strip. No suspects were caught. No charges were filed. And despite dozens of witnesses, the case went cold almost instantly. Even stranger, reports from that night conflict. Some say Tupac was conscious after the shooting, cursing at police officers. Others say he never woke up. From the very beginning, the timeline of Tupac's death didn't match up. And when you look closer at what came after, the contradictions only multiply. The official autopsy is where things get eerie. It lists Tupac's height as 6 feet 0 inches and his weight as 215 pounds. But Tupac was 5 feet 9 inches and around 165. That's not a typo. That's a different person. The coroner who handled the case, he quit the profession right after Tupac's autopsy, just walked away, never explained why. The death certificate filed unusually fast, and the social security number attached to Tupac was flagged as invalid. Then there are the hospital reports. Did Tupac survive 6 days fighting for his life? Or was he gone the night of the shooting? Witnesses tell completely different stories. And then comes Tupac's mother, Afeni Shakur.
And I know that my son was, he chose his life, and he chose, in the end, he chose to leave quietly.
When asked about her son's passing, she didn't say, "They took him from me." She said, "He chose to leave quietly." Fans still debate that line. Was it grief speaking, or a cryptic hint that Tupac had made a choice? Put it all together. The wrong height, the wrong weight, the vanishing coroner, the invalid documents, and it doesn't look like sloppy reporting. It looks like a cover-up. And if that's true, then maybe Tupac wasn't in that body bag at all.
Tupac actually escaping from the University Medical Center here in Vegas and relocating to New Mexico, getting protection from the Navajo tribe.
So if Tupac didn't die, where did he go? The most famous theory is Cuba. And honestly, it makes sense. Tupac's aunt, Tupac Shakur, was already living there under Fidel Castro's protection. She was a Black Panther who escaped prison in the US and found asylum in Havana. Pac's parents were Panthers too. He had the connections. Then comes Michael Nice, a British security operative who claimed he was directly involved in smuggling Tupac out of the country.
My name's Michael Nice, and if you don't know who I am, Google me. And what I'm about to tell you is gonna just blow the Tupac world apart. There's gonna be an explosion. I'm gonna make revelations. I've got news and revelations on Suge Knight. So if you're interested in that, keep watching. So as I said, I'm Michael Nice, I deliver the goods. Whatever I say, you know, is worth listening to. I've been in contact with Suge Knight. There's things about to happen. In a lot of people call it the Tupac world. It's not really the Tupac world. It's a hip hop world, the real world, and the revelations that I'm going to reveal about Suge, me, Tupac, the whole scenario, how we duped the world. Suge is probably going to be in control of releasing it to the world, and we're going to provide all the details. How we duped the world from the garden shed, how Michael Nice came about, how he saved Tupac, and this is so big that there ain't a B or I or a G big enough. So keep watching, the truth is coming, the truth is out there. Don't believe in mainstream, keep watching.
According to him, a double was swapped in at the hospital, and Pac was flown to Cuba. He even claimed Castro himself approved the move. But just as Michael Nice promised to release proof, he turned up dead in 2018. Officially, his cause of death was suspicious. And that's the pattern. Everyone who gets close to proving Tupac's escape either goes silent or disappears. Yet the sightings keep coming. Havana locals claiming they saw him in markets. Photos of a man in his 40s with Tupac's same eyes, same tattoos. A private investigator in 2019 even released images he swore showed Pac alive and well. Are they fakes? Maybe. But the whispers refuse to die. And the more you study Tupac's art, the more it feels like he was preparing us for this. Before his death, Tupac adopted the name Makaveli, inspired by Machiavelli, the Italian thinker who wrote about faking your own death to outwit enemies. On the Makaveli album, Tupac left strange messages. Exit Tupac, enter Makaveli, rearrange the letters, and fans see. I'm Alive K. 7 posthumous albums followed, each sounding too fresh, too current, too alive. Were these just leftover recordings? Or deliberate drops from hiding? Even in interviews, Tupac hinted at bigger plans. He talked about faking out his enemies, about survival, about legacy, almost like he knew his death would be the beginning of a new chapter. And when you tie that to the Cuba sightings, the autopsy contradictions, and Gene Deal's claim that Diddy wanted him gone,
I don't think they are at him. I think they more so, they don't want him to embarrass their reputation and things that they've been known for.
it starts to feel less like a coincidence and more like a script Pac wrote himself. Fast forward to today, and Diddy's empire is collapsing. Federal raids, trafficking charges, witnesses disappearing, prosecutors calling his operation and criminal network, complete with enforcers and cover-ups. Sound familiar? It's exactly what Gene Deal described from the 90s. The same patterns, the same machinery. And now investigators are reportedly cross-referencing files from the Tupac case with Diddy's current indictments. If those dots connect in court, the truth about Tupac's fate could finally be exposed. Was Pac just another victim of the machine, or the one man smart enough to escape it? So here's the question. On that September night in 1996, did Tupac Shakur really die in Las Vegas? Or did he outsmart everyone, faking his death, escaping to Cuba, and living quietly in the shadows?
Pac dead, Pac alive. I'm the wrong facts. But I tell you this, if you try to find a person who cremated Tupac, after he supposed cremated Tupac, he retired and vanished into the sun.
Gene Deal's words suggest one thing. Tupac wasn't paranoid. He was prepared. And if that's true, then maybe he didn't leave us at all. Maybe he's been alive this entire time, watching the empire that tried to destroy him finally fall apart. Fallen icon? Or ghost in hiding? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this story is far from finished. And remember, in the world of fame and power, nothing is ever as it seems.